giving all praises and glory to our power Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Rachak, Wadash, double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, wherever you may be. Wherever you may be, to you I say Shalom, Yahshua, Shalom. Alright, it's going to be super brief. Just want to hit 2 points out of these clips here. Because we recently talked about there was the avian flu where they found the 1,500 crows dead. Now they're talking about another 90 birds were found dead overnight. I don't think it was crows in particular, but just birds in general. Another 90 were found dead. I think they said overnight. Okay, but you see pestilences on the rise. All right. And I just get in one scripture dealing with that, and then I hit the other topic real quick, and we'll close it right on out. Like I said, I want this to be super brief. So, of course, you can go to Matthew 24. Same thing you can find in Luke 21. It's worded slightly different, but the same thing there. All right, Matthew 24. All right. It says, yep. Ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars, verse 6, and see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. What sorrows? All these different things that you hear and read about, all right? And what we're living in, Jacob's trouble, right? The average person don't know what the heck is going on right now. But we are in the midst of Jacob's trouble. And they're so blinded because they might say, well, nothing's happened to me yet, all right? Nothing have to happen to you right off the bat. Look around what's happening to others, all right, at a heightened level. And it's going to progressively get worse and worse, okay? Which leads me to other topic here. But I'm going to get a verse that'll transition us. So 2 Esdras chapter 9 says, and he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou see part of the signs pass, which we just read some of those signs, right? Wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, pestilence, famines, diverse places. All right, so different, so on and so forth. All right, it says, and it said all these things are the beginning of sorrows. Okay, American economy is all shot. People are complaining. All right, because they were thinking that their votes mattered and their vote don't matter. They were thinking if I vote this way, it's gonna matter. Nope, don't matter. That's why, because these presidents are puppets. They'll tell you whatever they need to tell you. Okay, and when they get selected behind closed doors, because your vote didn't get the president, who's ever president was chosen by the elites. Once they get in there, they're going to do their agenda of the elites, not the people. And that's what a lot of people are starting to realize and see. Okay, got different individuals that are pissed off. But this is Babylon the Great. This is the way it's supposed to go. So it says, then thou shalt understand. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be earthquakes and uproars of the people of the world. Okay, earthquakes was one of the things we read in Matthew 24. But then it goes on to say what? Uproars of the people. All right, is there not protest in America? They had the No Kings protest, which had to do with the president. Then they have all kinds of. They had the Israel versus Palestine protest. You had different sides to that here. Most recent, you have the people versus ICE protest. Now you have ICE way over there in Sydney, Australia, which transitions us to that topic. Protests in Sydney, Australia, outside the Olympics. You even had the so-called Arabic Saudis, whatever you want to call them. They were protesting there. All right, so you see all these uproars of the people. Okay, division there. Protest about I forget the guy's name in Israel. Okay. So from the east to the west, you have protests happening all over the planet. And these are what it's called what? Uproars of the people. As a matter of fact, let's do this. I don't think we've done this before. Maybe we have. Let's tap into uproar real quick. See what comes up. A loud and impassioned noise or disturbance. Yeah, that's the protest. You see? That's the protest. And then it goes on further to say a public expression of protest or outrage, and they're outraged about current society, living situations, or people are taking divisions and things that really have nothing to do with them, but people are just emotional and they're taking a stand. They're going to choose this side or the other. All right, red, blue, another division. Okay, this is what you see happening right here. This is the Lord. All right, and the scriptures say that matter of fact, I'll just get it because we're going to go back. So Middle Dutch op, meaning up, roar, or roar, meaning confusion. So up, confusion. The confusion is up. You see? Confusion. This is what's going on. Babylon. Mixing by confusion, man. Y'all, you can't make that up. Okay. Middle Dutch uproar. There's a lot of confusion going on right now, and that's why the people are distressed. Versus real life situations too. Not even versus, I should say, added to that, real life situations. All right. People in the uproar. Uproars of the people in the world. See? In the world. From the east to the west. All over. Everywhere. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right, before the creation of everything, heaven and earth. All right, from the foundations of the world, these things were already planned out to be. For like as all that is made in the world had the beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, and we're in these end times now, which is known as Jacob's trouble. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings of wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. The different things we see, blood moons, eclipses, different, pestilences, earthquakes, whatever, all these different signs that are told. Okay. Let's get a couple scriptures real quick. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed. Let me get this one. Face of the sky. Matthew 16:1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would shew them a sign from heaven. Talking about tempting Yahushua. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but you cannot. But can ye not discern the signs of the times? You see, the signs of the times. And this is why it's a blessing to know these things, all right? Because we can, through that, we can discern the signs of the times. And furthermore, we've been commanded to, all right? Watch as well as pray, okay? So it says, and that's all we want right there, discern the times of the times. And the other scripture I want to get it let me see. I'll type in strong, man. It might put us right in the middle where we want to be. Strong. Maybe it's two different words. Of course. All right. Matthew 12, verse 27. So this, we're just going to get what's on the screen, but they're going into, as they were doing, trying to accuse Yahushua of something. So, and if I, Beelzebub, cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out? Therefore, they shall be your judges. But if I cast out devils by the Spirit of the highest, then the kingdom of the highest is come unto you. See? Because he came with the Holy Spirit. Or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind a strong man, and then he will spoil his house? He that is not with me is against me. He that gathereth not with me is scattered abroad. Now, the point I want to make from here, all right, it says how. Matter of fact, let me pull up more scriptures here. Actually, I think I got the wrong verse. Let me type it up real quick. I should have put in kingdom divided, but I'm gonna put in divided, because this is what you see happening. All right, Esau is losing grips, okay, naturally because of prophecy. There you go. We just get this one in Luke 11:17. But some of them said he casted out devils through Beelzebub, the chief of the devils, and others tempting him sought of him a sign from heaven. But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto him, every kingdom divided against itself, right? The division, right? Is brought to desolation, to nothing. It's destroyed. Broke it down. And a house divided against a house falleth. Okay, doesn't it say in Isaiah 19, how we said the Egyptians against the Egyptians, the Americans against the Americans. Now we're also covering protests all over the world, but just a hint at Babylon the Great, the main place of prophecy. These people are divided, man, on many different levels. There's nothing but confusion and division here. See? So a house divided against a house, falleth. All right, a house. Let me read it again because I messed up. Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. If Satan also be divided against himself, and that's what you see happening. Even at the elites, they don't fully agree on everything. They know they want that new world order though. All right, how shall his kingdom stand? Because ye say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub. So this is what we see happening now: confusion, division. But this is the Lord slowly destroying Babylon the Great and making mockery of our enemies before He totally takes them out of the way, starting with Esau, Edom. All right, which is going to be prompted by destroying Babylon the Great. But that's all I want to get into real quick. Just something brief there, so you can enjoy the rest of the news. Logo, you edify. Shalom.
Bird flu outbreak has been confirmed in Andhra Pradesh. This after 40 chickens died on Saturday and another 50 on Sunday. The poultry deaths were recorded in the state's Annamaya and the Chittoor districts, and India's National Institute of High Security Animal Disease has confirmed that the birds died of avian influenza. And efforts are now underway to contain the outbreak. Andhra Pradesh's Minister of Animal Husbandry, Dairy Development and Fisheries, Kinjarapu Achanaidu, has said that the rapid response teams have been deployed to the Annamaya district. They are trying to prevent the disease from spreading, and the movement of birds in and out of the infected zones has also been restricted. Meanwhile, a culling exercise is underway to prevent bird flu from spreading. Reports say that 3,000 chickens have been culled in the Chittoor district, and officials from the state's Animal Husbandry Department are carrying out the mass cullings. A high alert is in place across the state's Rayalaseema region, and samples of dead birds are being sent for testing to get a better picture of the scale of the outbreak. Meanwhile, the officials are also reassuring people that there is no risk of infection from consuming meat or eggs, and as long as they are cooked thoroughly at temperatures well above 70 degrees Celsius, they pose no danger to human beings. Now, Andhra Pradesh's officials have also urged locals to avoid spreading or believing rumors about bird flu. And our correspondent Sricharan Sharma has sent us this report. Let's listen in.
In Andhra Pradesh state, nearly 90 avian influenza deaths and several more cases recorded. The government has issued a warning about the spread of bird flu. This comes amid raising concerns among poultry farmers and the state authorities. Officers confirmed that around 40 birds died on Saturday, followed by 50 deaths on Sunday. The initial cases were detected in Annamaya district, from where the Animal Husbandry Department sent out samples for the testing for avian influenza. Several cases were reported from Chittoor district as well, and samples collected from chicken deaths from Annamaya and Chittoor districts were sent to the National Institute of High Security Animal Diseases in Bhopal. The NIH SAD confirmed the avian influenza cases were registered. Sricharan Sharma reporting for Beyond World is One from Hyderabad.
They are our first line of defense, and to continue to support the men and women of the U.S. Border Patrol, Customs and Border Protection, because they really are, as I just said, the first line of defense. And when we have threats from, organizations from other countries, this is serious. This is real law enforcement, keeping Americans and America safe.
Another threat to national security is emerging at the southern border. Agents with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection are on heightened alert after new alleged threats from the cartel, apparently calling for direct attacks on Border Patrol agents, not just with weaponized drones, but ordering gang members to shoot at agents. Some cartels even allegedly incentivizing members through a tiered bounty system. News Nation's Ali Bradley is live from one of the most active border sectors, that is Del Rio, Texas. Ali, this is all in response to the border crackdown.
Yeah, I mean, the border right now is essentially secure. So this is kind of out of desperation, right, Nicole? And so we obtained this officer safety alert exclusively here at News Nation that shows that one of Mexico's most violent cartels is ordering these direct attacks on law enforcement down here at the border. So the FBI right now is saying that the Cartel de Jalisco New Generation, known as CJNG, has instructed its members to fire across the U.S.-Mexico border at Customs and Border Protection personnel, specifically in the San Diego area. Now, this alert adds that CJNG is actually urging attacks outside of its own territory. This move is designed to draw heavy retaliation and scrutiny from the United States and the Mexican government onto rival criminal organizations like the Sinaloa cartel. Take a listen to what retired Border Patrol Sector Chief Chris Clem had to say about it.
It's going to be, an attempt to shift the focus and blame on one cartel to get the attention of the Mexican government and the United States government. This is like, infighting within terrorist organizations to create, problems for their enemies.
Now, in response, agents are being warned to remain hypervigilant, closely monitor their surroundings, and wear their body armor at all times, regardless of assignment or patrol area. And of course, Nicole, this alert really underscores the potential for that cartel violence to spill over into the U.S. Of course, right now, the federal government is assessing this threat and trying to kind of mitigate it right now. But again, just warning agents to be hypervigilant out here, Nicole.
Yeah, so Ali, something you said at the beginning of your report there, the administration saying not a single person has been released into the country over the past 9 months. Have they now achieved their goal of full operational control?
Not yet, but they are getting a little bit closer. So we got some new data from our sources that showed in December, they were looking at about 48 gotaways. Those are people who successfully evade law enforcement each and every day. So they were looking at about 48 a day. That's 1,500 for a month. But then fast forward to January, we look at those numbers. Our sources say that they were seeing about 29 a day. So they've almost cut that in half. And then you look at that number makes it about 900 a month that are successfully getting away. So you're still dealing with just under 1,000 people, Nicole, that are successfully evading law enforcement, and they're not being vetted. It's important for our viewers to know when they're a gotaway, they do not have interactions with law enforcement. They end up in the interior, unchecked, unvetted. They have never had an interaction with law enforcement. That's why they're called a gotaway. Nicole. All right.
A medical student has died after clashes erupted between police and students protesting delays in grant payments at a major university in Senegal, the government said Tuesday. The death comes amid a difficult economic climate in the West African country, where students have protested the thorny issue of stipend arrears for several years. Unrest broke out at Sheikh Anta Diop University in the capital Dakar on Monday, according to a statement by a government spokeswoman who said a second-year medical student, Abdoulaye Ba, died as a result. The university, which has tens of thousands of students, resembled a battlefield on Monday. Videos on social media showed scenes of chaos, including security forces entering university grounds and firing tear gas into buildings, while students retaliated by throwing stones.
I was just in shock. I was just making sure she was okay, and the next emotion that kicked in was anger for someone to throw a woman that hard to the ground and act tough until other grown men started walking up to him.
Video shows an ICE officer throwing a woman to the ground and then pepper spraying a group of immigrant rights volunteers outside of a government building in California. Tomas Rebecki, one of the volunteers, tells CNN that he is part of VC Defensa, a local immigrant rights group that monitors enforcement activity. After being alerted that ICE officers were at the Ventura County Government Center, Rebecki went to monitor the officers. There he saw one of them throw a woman onto the concrete walkway before he himself was pepper sprayed.
That's why we have to be there to observe. Like this, they'll twist the story, they'll change it, and that's why we need to be there recording, observing, and pushing back when they're using force against innocent people.
A spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security told CNN agents were conducting a, quote, targeted enforcement operation, arresting a man being released from Ventura County Jail. The spokesperson said the woman thrown to the ground, quote, assaulted one of the officers.
Record! 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 You guys are all going to hell, man. Stop fighting! No, stop. You're going to hell, man. Hold it, hold it, hold it!
Stay in the room, please.
No, no, this is my house. This is my house. Why do you do this? Why do you break families apart? Why? You don't have kids? You don't have a family? Why do you do this? Do you think this is okay? I know you feel something. Hey, go! No! Stop crying! Call your mom. Call your mom. Why, man? Why? Do you have kids?
If he would have just,
no, but listen, do you have kids?
I don't even talk about that. I'm not here for
You're
kids.
evil. You're evil. God has a special place for you guys. I hope you know that. Don't hurt him! Don't hurt him! You're hurting him! What do you mean? No! No!
Guadalupe Lopez was inconsolable after she alleges ICE agents broke down her door, hit her in the head, and arrested her cousin, Jose Lopez, and took him into custody.
He was like, if he doesn't come out, we're gonna bust the door open. I'm like, bro, you don't have a warrant, you don't have anything. Like, what are you talking about?
The ordeal began around 8 a.m. The family says Jose Lopez, who's in the country illegally, left his home on the 2800 block of North Barry and drove off to work. He soon realized ICE agents were waiting for him down the road.
He tried to stop, but then they boxed him in. And then he said that he hit the brakes hard. He tried to make sure not to hit the car because obviously, you know, he knows.
Family says Lopez drove back to the house and barricaded himself inside. Federal agents told the family Lopez struck their vehicle. When he wouldn't emerge, a standstill ensued.
All the people bound to win.
Protesters began arriving on scene as the federal agents awaited an arrest warrant.
Say hello, everyone.
Guadalupe Lopez went live on Instagram and recorded this ICE agent waving at her.
Hey.
After securing the warrant, agents stormed the house and arrested Lopez. State Representative Joe Webster, a Democrat who represents the district, was among those who arrived on scene before the arrest. He condemned the actions of federal agents.
They sort of invaded this street, cordoned it off, and have traumatized our community.
And again, so far, ICE has had no comment, but I'm told by a spokesperson that a statement is forthcoming. Live in Trooper, Chad Perdelli, Channel 6, Action News. Back to you guys.
Yeah, it was a tense afternoon.
President of Israel, Isaac Herzog, is here in Sydney, Australia, and thousands of people are protesting against him, calling for him to be arrested as a war criminal for complicity in the deaths of thousands of Palestinians in Gaza. Now, his meeting with the Jewish community not far from here, still grieving after that terrorist attack in Bondi in December. The police have moved those protesters on now, making several violent arrests.
Good evening. Pro-Palestine activists have clashed with police in violent showdowns across Australia's two biggest cities as protesters rally against a visit from the Israeli president. Flags were torched in the heart of Melbourne, while in Sydney there were dozens of arrests, with police accused of crossing the line.
Flag burning in Melbourne, extraordinary crowd control in Sydney, one man's visit to Australia creating unrest from city to city. Isaac Herzog, the Israeli president, dropped by a Sydney school today and, with snipers on the roof and a police escort, visited New South Wales Government House as the government itself defended this on the streets.
The New South Wales Police were put in an impossible position last night.
Here, police unite, surging as one. 27 people arrested, 10 police officers hurt. Protesters argue it was too violent.
They pepper sprayed me.
Police claim they had little choice.
We wanted a respectful and responsible protest. That's not what we got last night.
Isaac Herzog's Australian visit takes him from Sydney to Canberra, then Melbourne.
This is not a moderate man here to mourn the deaths at Bondi, which we mourn as well. This is an extremist man.
Here, a group of Muslim men is hauled off the ground during prayer.
The conduct of the New South Wales Police represents a serious breach of religious sanctity. It is deeply distressing.
In Melbourne, thousands filled Flinders Street before moving deeper into the city. Later, flags were set on fire at a tram stop near Parliament. A 20-year-old woman was arrested and is expected to be charged with willful damage to the tram stop.
We've seen the largest demonstrations in support of Palestine for some months take place last night. The fact that 30 cities and towns across this country protested simultaneously is an indication of the depth of feeling in the community.
A feeling that spread up Sydney Road in Brunswick late this afternoon, a hastily organised protest stopping traffic.
Live now to Blake Johnson, and Blake, police are on high alert ahead of Isaac Herzog's arrival here on Thursday.
Peter, plenty more protest action to come in Melbourne starting tomorrow. They'll target Peter Khalil's office. He's the Federal Labor MP and Assistant Minister for Defence. That office on Sydney Road. So they'll return where they were this afternoon. And then on Thursday, that's the big one. When Isaac Herzog arrives in Melbourne, those same group of protesters are planning to meet here outside Southern Cross from 3 p.m. So we can expect similar scenes of disruption as we saw outside Flinders Street yesterday.
What's in? Well. I can't fucking believe this.
The World Defense Show in Riyadh, now in its third edition, where around 1,000 exhibitors from over 85 countries have gathered to showcase their latest military technologies and negotiate global defense deals. What's drawing attention this year isn't just the scale of the event, it's the range of participation. Russia, Ukraine, and China are all present once again, despite the ongoing geopolitical tensions. That future is on full display here. Artificial intelligence dominates much of the show floor. From automated drones to AI-powered targeting systems to advanced battlefield analytics. Anti-surveillance technology are gaining traction too, including encrypted communication systems, drone jamming tools, and anti-spy gear designed to protect sensitive operations. The exhibition reveals not just the hardware of modern warfare, but the digital tools that now define it.
The U.S. is deepening ties with a country that used to be one of Russia's closest allies. It signed an agreement with Armenia to cooperate on civil nuclear power. The deal was announced in Yerevan on Monday, where Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan met U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, who is on a 2-day visit to the region.
We're also very proud to announce that our nations have completed negotiations on a 1-2-3 civil nuclear cooperation agreement.
The pact would let the U.S. license nuclear technology to Armenia. Vance said that opened the door to up to $5 billion in initial American exports, plus another $4 billion in long-term fuel and maintenance contracts. For Armenia, which has long depended on Russia and Iran for its energy needs, the deal signals a shift. The country is weighing proposals from U.S., Russian, Chinese, French, and South Korean companies to build a new reactor to replace its aging Soviet-era plant at Metsamor. No decision has been made, but the announcement strengthens the chances of an American-led project, potentially further reducing Moscow's influence. Russia maintains its bid is still the strongest, saying state nuclear company Rosatom is ready to move quickly. Vance's visit comes 6 months after Washington helped broker an agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan that is seen as a step towards a peace deal. He's also promoting the so-called Trump Route for International Peace and Prosperity, a proposed trade corridor across southern Armenia linking Azerbaijan and Turkey. The U.S. says the project could reshape trade from Asia to Europe, while bypassing both Russia and Iran. Vance heads to Azerbaijan next as the U.S. pushes forward with its regional diplomacy.
I am now leaving for the United States on my 7th trip to meet President Trump since he was elected for his 2nd term. This, of course, does not include his unforgettable visit to Israel and his speech in the Knesset. I believe these things reflect the unique closeness and the exceptional relationship we have with the United States, both my personal relationship with the President and the relationship between the State of Israel and the United States, something unprecedented in our history. On this trip, we will discuss a series of issues: Gaza, the region, but of course, first and foremost, the negotiations with Iran. I will present to the President our views regarding the principles of the negotiations, the important principles. And in my eyes, they are important not only for Israel, but for anyone in the world who wants peace and security in the Middle East.
The world's most dangerous oil route is on the edge again. No, not in some distant corner of the planet, not hidden from the global trade, but at a narrow strip of water, so small on the map, yet so powerful that it controls the fuel that runs the modern world. We are talking about Strait of Hormuz here, and now the US has issued a chilling warning. Washington is telling oil tankers to stay away from Iran. No, it's not a suggestion, not routine maritime advice. It is a security alert wrapped in diplomatic language. Well, American authorities are telling the ships who are flying the US flag not to sail close to Iranian water. Keep your ship tracking system switched on all the time. Stay in constant contact with the US and allied naval forces, because one wrong move in these waters can trigger an international crisis within minutes. You know, why does this narrow water matter so much? Let's slow this down, because the Strait of Hormuz, it is not just a shipping lane. It is the world's energy heartbeat. Nearly 20% of the planet's oil supply passes through this tiny corridor every single day. Think about that. 1 out of every 5 barrels of oil travels through this one narrow passage. Well, if this route gets blocked, fuel prices don't just rise. Economies will shake, market will panic, and governments will scramble. And on the other side, Iran has made its position absolutely clear, and that too many times before. Tehran has repeatedly warned that if it feels threatened, if its economy is squeezed, and if its security is challenged, it can shut this particular route down. And these are not any empty words. Iran has previously seized oil tankers. It has boarded commercial ships. It has denied the vessel during periods of high tension. Now here, every such incident sends shockwaves across global shipping routes. And now enters Donald Trump's precious strategy, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the timing of this warning is not really random here, because behind the scenes right now, the United States is tightening economic pressure on Iran once again. New tariffs, new restrictions, and stronger financial measures targeting Tehran. And yes, at the very same time, something unexpected is happening. Two rivals are talking again. Yes, despite the threat, despite naval buildup, the US and Iran have quietly resumed indirect nuclear talks in Oman. Not face-to-face though, not any friendly negotiation, but diplomatic message passed through mediators. And this is diplomacy, walking on razor blade. In the end, this is what it means for the rest of the world right now. It means two realities are unfolding together. On one side, diplomats are sitting across negotiation table. Discussions about nuclear limits are slowly restarting, and there is hope, at least on the paper. But on the other side, warships are watching the waters. Oil tankers are sailing under heightened fear. Military forces remain on high alert. And wait, here's the real fear. The Strait of Hormuz has always been a flashpoint, not because countries want war, but because accidents happen. One miscalculation, one ship boarding incident, one naval confrontation, and all of a sudden, the regional tension can explode into global crisis for now. The message from Washington is simple and direct. Stay alert, stay distant from Iranian water, and stay connected to military protection, because while diplomacy is moving forward, trust is still missing.